Here's how you can prevent your raspberries from molding. Step 1, when you bring them home from the store, wash them right away, very gently. Step 2, make sure they're good and dry because nobody wants wet raspberries. Step 3, this is a very important step. You're gonna take them in your hand and you're gonna eat them all. They're not moldy, see? Follow along for more life tips. Okay, we're gonna start with A. That's right. And A makes the ah sound like apple. Apple. Good job. Okay, next is B. B. Yes, B does go b for banana or B, banana. And then we have C. And C makes the snake. Not quite. Snake starts with an S. I know it sounds like C should be S, but actually, well, sometimes C does go S, and sometimes it goes ch, but usually it goes kite. Yes, like kite, but no, kite starts with a K. C and K sounds, you know what, actually, we'll come back to C. C's a really hard one. Okay, and then we have D, and D makes the yes, duh sound like dinosaur. Then E for elephant. For elephant, I know you love elephant. And then we have F for frog or f***ing. Yes, F for you're not wrong. Okay, that's enough letters for today. Here's some snacks I love as a busy mom of 2. These True Bars are the greatest thing I think I've ever tasted. They are a protein bar, but they taste straight up like cookie dough and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I love them. Heavenly Hunks. I eat these every single night. The Mush Overnight Oats. These are more like an easy breakfast, but you can eat them whenever you want. These single serve hummuses and some non-dippers. You can also buy the mini guacamole ones. I love those too. Baby Bells and cheese sticks because you can just never have enough cheese. These peanut butter oat balls, which I am obsessed with and I make them at home. I can share that recipe with you if you want it. And you can just make a bunch of lunch meat sandwiches ahead of time. The key to that though is to put the condiments between the cheese and the deli meat. That way it's not touching the bread and they won't get soggy in the fridge. And of course, keep a variety of fruit washed and ready to eat. I just washed these, that's why they're in the strainer, but keep them ready to go in your fridge so you can just grab them when you're hungry. If you have toddlers though, they'll probably eat them all first. And these chomp sticks make for a quick and easy snack on the go. And I forgot to share this one with you guys, but these Simple Mills almond bars, delicious. And you can find most of these items at Costco. Mommy, my milk is too milky. Totally valid. I'm sorry I can't control your milk emotions or your urge to cry when I cut your toast into squares, but I do control this. This is the only thing in this house that listens the first time. Mommy, I need a snack. I want toast, but don't cut it. This thing isn't just a bottle washer. It's my sanity saver. You want to know the one thing that has reduced my 3-year-old's tantrums significantly? This is going to look a little different depending on your kiddo's personality and what they may need. But for my son, that is wrestling or roughhousing with him. My son just really needs that sensory input of like being thrown around and just wrestling. There's even been times where I've laid on him and he's like, please don't move, just stay there, because he just really likes that weight on him. Now for your child, it may not be roughhousing. It may be something like quality time, reading books, doing some sort of arts and crafts activity. Anything of the sort. But whenever my son is just like continuously acting out during the day and I know he's not tired and I know he's not hungry or sick and I ruled out all the things that it could possibly be, this is usually what it is. He's just craving some connection, but in a rough way. And sometimes it's trial and error to figure out what it is that they do need. And other times they will straight up ask you, like he asks me all the time, hey, can we wrestle? Hey, can we get in the bed and have a pillow fight? Can we do something like that? So if you have a high energy kid who is having tantrums often, give this a try and see if it helps. It doesn't have to be wrestling. It could be an obstacle course that they're doing, because my son loves those too. Something that is just energy burning and sensory input. Here's some tips and tricks I've learned in the last 3 years of parenting. First, if you're trying to cut their fingernails or toenails and they are fighting you, we used to take a pair of clippers with us, fingernail clippers, and when they fell asleep in the car, we would cut their fingernails or toenails that way. Or if you have a baby and they're old enough to face outwards, when they're facing outwards, if they fall asleep or whatever the case is where they're just kind of relaxed, you can go ahead and cut their toenails that way. And it's basically like you're cutting your own fingernails because it's right there. It's easy to see. It works great. If your child is playing with stickers, to avoid having to peel each sticker off for them because they can't quite get their finger under to peel it up, here's a trick for you. So for instance, here's our sticker page, and we're just going to take this front piece and peel all of this off, leaving the stickers on the page. So it's super easy for your kiddo to just peel it right off. Just like that. Now the only thing you have left is stickers that they could just grab right off. If I remember correctly, Busy Toddler Mom taught me that trick, so check her out, she's great. And last, if you have a wagon that you use for your kids, use that to unload your groceries, especially if it's a big haul. That way you're not trying to she-hulk all your groceries on your arms into the house, and you're not having to worry about if your kids are inside alone or they're outside. You're not trying to go in and out and watch your kids and unload the groceries. Just pile them up into the wagon and push the wagon up to the door, push it in your house if you want, and unload your groceries that way. We use this to unload for our Costco hauls, and it works great. Sometimes as a mom, you don't need therapy. You just need a change of zip code. For that, we headed out to Island Oaks RV Resort. But it's not just for RVs. They have so many cabin options, including some with your own personal dog area or playground. And every cabin has a different theme, so each visit feels new. We started by grabbing a golf cart for quick access to the pool. Looking for more fun? They have plenty of options, including a water obstacle course. And when your belly starts grumbling, stop by the on-site cafe or pop into the general store for snacks. If you run out of clean underwear, no need to worry. They have multiple laundromats on site. I might still be the snack lady, but at least my son never gets bored while here. We can't wait to go visit again soon. Parents, let's get one thing straight. You are not doing it wrong. Social media is a great source of information, but it's also a great place to make you feel like you're a bad parent. I see so many videos or pictures of people being like, this is what I fed my baby today. And it's like a 5-course meal. Whether you're feeding your baby the jarred food from the grocery store or you're making them baby-led weaning style meals, it doesn't matter. You're not doing it wrong. It's all about whatever makes you comfortable and what works for your baby. Same with the whole sleep training, rocking to sleep mantra. Do what you want. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. It's just whatever works for you. So if you're rocking your baby to sleep and you're seeing all these people talking about, here's how you can get your baby to sleep through the night. Guess what? Your baby may never sleep through the night. It may just be the kind of baby that they are. And if you're not comfortable with the whole letting them cry method, don't feel like you have to do that. I think the same thing applies as they get older when it comes to screen time versus no screen time, public school versus homeschool or private school, whatever you should choose. Can we stop bashing the other side because we do something different? It is okay to do what works for you and your family. So if you're seeing something on social media and you're like, wow, am I doing this wrong? Should I be doing something different? The answer is no. You should be doing exactly what works for you and what you're comfortable with. Let's make my favorite snack, peanut butter oat balls. You're gonna start with 3 cups of oats. I use rolled oats, and I like to use a food processor to blend up about a cup of those so it's not as oaty. It also helps it bind together a little bit better. And you're gonna do 1 cup of honey. I spray it first so the honey doesn't stick. 2 cups of peanut butter. I like the creamy, all-natural peanut butter. It just is easier to get into the mix. A little bit of vanilla. That's probably about 2 teaspoons. The best part, the chocolate chips. And at this point, you can add flax seeds or chia seeds if you want, but I do recommend you soak the chia seeds before you put them in because they do like to swell up when they get liquid in them. Now we're gonna mix it all up. Now that we have a giant dough ball, we're gonna roll them into little balls. This recipe makes a lot, so I will store some in an airtight container in the fridge, and the rest I will put in the freezer. I highly recommend you put them on a lined tray and let them harden up in the freezer and then bag them up before you freeze them because they are quite sticky when you first start out. And there you have it, a delicious, easy snack to grab. Let's make simple AF banana bread. Start by pulling those bananas out of the freezer you've been saying you were going to use for months. Once thawed, let your little helper mash them up to your desired consistency. We don't like big chunks, so we do a lot of mashing. Next, pour in 1/3 cup of melted butter, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt, 3/4 cups of sugar. Make sure the sugar tastes just right before continuing, and then give it a mix. Next, we're adding 1 large whisked egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. Give that another good mix, and be sure to lick any batter you've spilled off the counter. Once thoroughly mixed, pour it in a buttered bread pan. You're going to pop it in the oven at 350 degrees. After 45 minutes, we give it a check to see if it's ready or not, and we see that it's not based on the toothpick check. So we toss it back in for another 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, it comes out perfect. At this point, you're just going to allow it to cool on a wired rack if you can stand the wait. We usually only make it 5 minutes.